Let me unshare my screen.
Verse 12.
We go
Jesus
back.
says,
I gotta back up.
Got it? Or being grafted in it.
so you're saying that Samaritan, the woman from Samaria, you're saying that
The woman. Now we believe not because of thy saying, for we have heard him ourselves and know that this is indeed to another. Hath any man brought him out to eat? Jesus said unto them, my spirit and truth. God is a spirit. Gave us the well and drank therefore himself.
Okay, so I think this when I was playing possum. But let me just back it up in the beginning. I think because I was playing possum with her at some point and I returned. So it just started.
Though Jesus himself baptized not, but his disciples. He left Judea and departed again into Galilee. And he must needs go through Samaria.
Let me know.
Right. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. So now it says, now Jacob's well was there. Jesus, therefore, being weary with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus said unto her, give me to drink, for his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? So for the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. So she recognized herself as something different than the Jews. So Jesus answered and said unto her, and she recognized that and said, we have no dealings with each other. So there's some type of thing there that she believed Jews don't even deal with her people. So verse 10 says, Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God, and who it is that said to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldst have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. Verse 11, the woman said unto him, sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then how thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank therefore himself, and his children, and his cattle? Verse 13, Jesus answered and said unto her, whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water spring up into everlasting life. The woman said unto him, sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus said unto her, go, call thy husband and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, thou hast well said, I have no husband, for thou hast 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband. And that says thou truly. The woman said unto him, sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Our fathers worship him in this mountain, and yea, say that in Jerusalem, in this place where men ought to worship. Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation of the Jews. So he's let her know that salvation pertains to us, not you. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him, which is spirit and truth. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. The woman said unto him, I know that the Messiah is come, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things. And Jesus said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. I'm the Messiah. And upon this came his disciples and marveled that he talked with the woman, because she's from Samaria. Yet no man said, what seekest thou, or why talkest thou with her? The woman then left her water pot and went her way into the city and said to the men, come, see a man which told me all things that I ever did. Is this not the Christ? Then they went out of the city and came unto him. In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that you know not of. Pause. Therefore said the disciples one to another, hath any man brought him out to eat? Jesus said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. Say not yea, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. So he goes to that. Skip past all that. So verse 39, it says, and many of the Samaritans of that city believed on him for the saying of the woman. So she's bragging about him, and other Samaritans came out and they believed on him, which testified, he told me all that I ever did. So when the Samaritans were come unto him, they besought him that he would tarry with them, and he abode there 2 days. And many more believed because of his own words. And he said unto the woman, now we believe not because of thy saying, for we have heard him ourselves, and know that this is indeed the Christ, the Savior of the world. And probably what I'm going to read from there.
Yeah.
So when I read that as a sign.
Go ahead.
What did I miss?
Nothing. I literally just read John 8 to these guys. John 4. Nobody gave commentary yet.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think they're about to give their commentary now.
Time of the Gentiles receiving some of this inheritance or covenant or being grafted in.
So you're saying that the woman from Samaria, you're saying that she's a Gentile?
Well, she said it. She said that you guys don't even deal with us.
She didn't say Gentile.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I understand Egyptians are not called Gentiles. My bad. Matthew chapter 10, verse 5 and 6 says, go not in the way of the Gentiles and Samaritans. So what I mean by Gentile, I'm just saying the Samaritan is a non-Israelite.
Well, you taking that stance, I would have to disagree with that, just for the simple fact that she says in verse, where is it at?
Let me unshare my screen.
Verse 12, she says,
in
verse 12, she says, art thou greater than our father Jacob? Right. Indicating that her people are Israelites. Her father is Father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank therefore himself and his children and his cattle.
I would say, go ahead.
For the belief of her being a Gentile, that just wouldn't add up with the context of the scripture, what she's saying. She said it herself that her father is Jacob.
Yeah, but the way Jesus and the disciples responded to her, it from the context, it looked like she was mistaken, right? She believed that, and Jesus definitely didn't believe that. And the verse would be, why would she say, you guys don't even deal with us?
Meet you there?
Yeah.
Now, just notice, you have to be laughing inside how I'm playing possum. Like I'm really trying to find understanding on this. I'm laughing right now inside. Like, these guys really thought I was like confused.
Well, they didn't. It was really the Samaritans. This Samaritan woman right here, I believe, is an Ephraimite, a remnant of the northern kingdom that stayed in Judea and they didn't disperse or scatter away into America yet. They didn't go along with their brothers, their people. So,
Salakia, if I may, you see in verse 5 where it says, "Then cometh he to a city of Samaria, which is called Sychar." Right? When you go into that Greek word for Sychar, it goes into Shechem. When you go into that word Shechem, there's actually a city in the city of Manasseh, and we know that Manasseh is one of the tribes of the northern kingdom.
So you believe she was an Israelite who did not leave? You said you said she didn't leave where?
They didn't go off into to the Americas yet. They didn't scatter away.
Now, do you have a verse for that? A Bible verse for that?
She didn't go off into the Americas
yet. That she, she's other than
none of them were in the Americas.
I'm saying she's a Samaritan because she said she was.
bro.
Well, the verse that
Wait, pause it. Wait.
the verse
That
that
was
Kodak
dumb.
just proved
All right, let me play it back. See what
that
he
he
said.
A verse for that? The
Yeah.
Bible
to the Americas, yeah,
says she didn't leave where?
that didn't go off into to the Americas, yeah, that didn't scatter
Okay.
away.
Now,
Did he say
None of
America?
them. Yeah. That. Wait. So he believes they went to the Americas at this time?
Hold on. Let me
do you have a verse? Oh, you said that
Dude,
where you said
there
she
might
didn't
be
leave
side
where?
That didn't go off into to the Americas, yeah, that didn't
Yeah,
scatter
said that.
away.
Now, do you have a verse for that? The Bible.
He said Americas.
they might be siding with the Mormons that Jesus went to America.
Yeah, these guys are desperate.
Verse for that.
That's nuts.
What do you mean? What verse for what?
That she,
You know
she's
exactly
other than
what verse.
something.
Right.
I'm saying she's a Samaritan because she said she was.
Well, the verse that Kodak just proved that he just proved that, which was called Sakar, saying that they were Manassites. And then in verse 12, she's saying that her father is Jacob, meaning her father is an Israelite. She's an Israelite descendant.
So you don't believe that she thinks she's an Israelite? Because
No.
Jesus said that, he said, I'm sharing my screen. He said, you worship what you know not what. We know we worship for salvation of the Jews. So again, he's showing separation between her and himself. And he says, but the hour cometh, and now is when the true worshipers. So in other words, like you're a faker. For the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth. And then he said, what did he say? He said,
Thank you. Yeah, hold up. Yeah, okay. So
he said, Jesus said unto her, woman, believe.
Yeah.
Then verse 20.
Okay, yeah. I'm about to say, yeah. So you see this right here, this play button right here, Meech? So that means I must have, when I was doing the re-record, I must have actually pressed it. That's why there's just long pauses there. The video's just not playing.
Oh, I thought you actually paused it.
No. So this play button, so I just realized just now. And when I did the recording, I realized, oh my God, I paused it. So you'll see it hit play.
Then verse 21, he says, Jesus said unto her, woman, believe me, the hour cometh when you shall now neither in this mountain nor yet at the Jerusalem worship the Father. So I took that as he's pointing out, like, yo, you a faker. You think you're one of us, but you're not.
No, I don't see that at all. Okay.
Yeah, they never see the other way. It's just impossible for it to be true.
So was there ever a time when non-Israelites occupied Israelite areas and worship and believe like Israelites?
And that's what I'm saying we should do. We should extract information out. Not volunteer information, bro. Extract it out of them first to show that they differ. And then you bring the opposing information to correct them. But don't volunteer information because now you don't know what they actually believe because they're not gonna say anything. So that's why I always get it from them first. Like, yo, what do you think this is? And then when they give a bad answer, then I give you, because at the end of the day, by not responding and you tell them, the next time you talk to them, they're gonna be like, I already knew that, bro. I never said I ain't know. So no volunteering, no volunteering stuff. I've been there, done that. No volunteering. Ask them, and when they say I don't know, that's good enough. Now you can tell them, but that will come back to bite you. And then a lot of times when you volunteer, you're really pouring you're giving the pearls to the swine. It's like it ain't even worth it sometimes.
Can you rephrase that question?
Yeah. So was there ever a time that Israelites were removed from their area and non-Israelites occupied it and then deluded themselves to believe that they were Israelites anytime.
So you're saying anytime that Israelites were moved from their land,
Right.
and then that the heathens occupied their land
Yeah.
and started keeping our customs?
Yeah.
I can't say that. I can't prove that scripturally that other heathens started keeping our customs, no, in our land without us there, no.
All right. Let me see if I can, let me stop my screen and see if I can find something. And you guys, you said you were GMS?
No, we're not GMS, we're Sakar.
Okay.
You see how I pulled that out of them? I didn't tell them what they are. Now I knew what the hell they were, but I wanted them to say for their own mouths. All right.
Why the hell my head? I'm thinking GMS the whole time.
Yeah, we're of the Sakari sect, Sakari Riverside. And you say you're out in New Jersey?
Yeah.
But you haven't heard of brothers out there in Sakari, New Jersey, New York?
So around New Jersey, we are accompanied by Israel United in Christ. Like my brothers with them. Yeah, so that's pretty much the area.
Would you consider yourself an Israelite?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my whole name is Keep It Real Israel.
All right.
All right, so let me go to what I'm looking for. So Sakari, that's who? Is that the because you know you got different camps. That ain't, you got no affiliation with GOCC, right?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Guerrilla Hebrew or Deacon Sakari?
Guerrilla Hebrew, definitely from Sinetta.
Yeah, Guerrilla Hebrew. He is the leader of our school.
All right. Yeah,
yeah.
I think, but that's why I think with GMS though.
No, he's not with GMS. His camp is Sakari. He came out of GMS though.
All right, yeah, that's what I thought you guys would. Okay, that makes sense.
That's a long.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
This officer line. What is it? Keep It Real?
Yeah, Keep It Real Israel. Right.
Khan, Shalom King. All right. So yeah, you brought out the John 4 and 12 where he was talking to the Samaritan woman, Khan. Right. Now, you believe the Gentiles can be grafted in, right?
Yeah, that's what I read when I read the new.
Okay. Now, my question is, right, if you're reading that and he's talking to a Samaritan woman, right? Now you got to keep in mind the Jews were scattered across, right?
Right.
The Jews were scattered across. We were called, you know, your nationality does not reflect your ethnicity, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we fucking born, you know, if you have a Mexican father and let's just say, for instance, that Mexican father dies and you have a Asian mother and she moves to, let's just say, China, right? Your nationality can become Chinese, but that doesn't make your ethnicity, your bloodline Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here we have, right, a Samaritan woman, right? And it's very, very simple. I don't want you to overthink it, right? You read that and you say, oh, dang, okay. But she says her father's Jacob, right? And then you have these other, right? Christ saying, you know not what you worship, but we know who we worship for salvations of the Jews, right? So by her saying that her father is Jacob, and by us giving the information of the Sakar and referring us back to the Manassites, who is a northern kingdom tribe, right? that does come from Jacob, right? We see that there's no non-Israelite bloodline being grafted in. Just when you read that, right? If you read anything and you think someone is maybe a Gentile, meaning a Gentile white person or so on and so forth from another nation, but the person is saying that their father is Jacob, and you can actually see the land and go back into the Greek and look at what that word means and see that it still refers to the 12 tribes. You know, how does your conclusion come to everybody can be grafted in?
Yeah, so that's why I said this wouldn't be the end all be all to everybody being grafted in. That's why I said I believe this was a sign, this was a sign for the Gentiles, because she didn't even know, she thought she was already Gucci. So I want to go to, I think I found a
Hold on. Can you say that again? Go ahead.
Me?
Before you go there, I want to add in verse 10 in John 4:10.
Yeah.
It says, Jesus answered and said unto her, if thou knewest the gift of God and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
Right.
So we see Christ, Jesus willing to give her living water.
Hey, Meech, you heard that? Or chat. So
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, so his point, but then when he was willing to give the woman some of the crumbs, they'll say, nah, that was nothing.
Yeah.
Just a crumb. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but look, this is, dude, you always will silence them with this. You ask them what the bread was. They will never answer. I guarantee you. Because if you ask them what the bread was, what do the Jews eat of? What do the children eat of? Clearly, it's salvation, the promises, because eat means to partake. So if they're partaking in all this, and when it says that the Gentiles get the crumbs, that means, hey, they're partaking as well.
He's the bread from heaven, right?
Right, yep. I don't know if in that story he's saying he's the bread that they eat of. It would make sense because he's the truth. But yeah, they'll never answer what the bread represents because they know what that means.
Yeah, so I pause to just point out like how they like they'll tell you the Samaritan woman in their mind are getting a small crumb, but then the lady getting a little bit of the water is like, so like again, like the logic. All right, let me just play it.
This person, this woman right here, the Samaritan woman, he's willing to give her the living, the gift of God and who it is that saith to thee, give me to drink. Thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water.
Right.
So we see Christ, Jesus willing to give her living water. This person, this woman right here, the Samaritan woman, he's willing to give her the living water. But in Matthew 15:24, what happened with that Canaanite woman? He was only ready to give her a crumb. This woman, he's ready to give living water. But that Canaanite heathen in Matthew 15:24, he was just going to give a crumb.
Wait, let me go to that. Matthew.
That was actually what she stated about the crumb, that she would take a crumb. That's not what he said to her.
Let's go there. Let's go to Matthew 15.
So, all right. There's a lot of reading. You're gonna have me. We got to skip through some of this.
Let's start at 21.
All right, good. You saved me. All right, so then Jesus went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast. So do we agree that this is a Canaanite woman, not an Israelite?
Absolutely.
Okay. So she came out and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word, not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she cries after us. But he
So
answered,
stop right there.
Yeah.
So we see how Christ is already treating this woman. He answered her not a word. He pretty much ignored her.
Yeah, totally.
And then his disciples came and beside him saying, Send her away, get her away from here. She's pretty much a Gentile. She's a heathen. We have no dealings with her. Right?
Yeah, that's
so this is a big difference in how he treated the Samaritan woman and how he's dealing with the Canaanite woman, right?
Yeah, well, the fact that he doesn't even call Samaritans Gentiles, so he got more respect for them than he does for the Gentiles, because he says, go away, don't go into the way of the Samaritans or the Gentiles. So he don't even respect the Gentiles enough to call them by nations. He just say Gentiles, and he calls Samaritans by, so he definitely got more respect for the Samaritans, but that don't mean that they're not in Israel.
Let's keep reading. Let's go to my point. Go ahead.
Okay. So now, but he definitely treated her totally different. So he said, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So he is not sent. Christ is not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right.
So it's still talking about Israelites, just the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Right. Well, they will all be lost, right?
No, not all of them. A lot of them weren't lost. Just those that went outside of Jewry and that were outside of the land, which is the northern kingdom. The northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were separated.
So, but wouldn't you guys say that the ones in Samaria are lost?
In a sense, yes, they were lost.
So
they were in Samaria. So
I would think Samaria would be included in the lost.
That's why we're saying. I mean, that's part of why we're saying that she is Israel, because she already said that her father is of Jacob. Is Jacob.
So the question I'm asking is that if the Samaritan Israelites are also lost, then why would he not include them when he says lost Israel? He says, do not go in the way of Samaria or the Gentiles, only go to the lost house of the sheep of Israel, something like that. So why would he not include them as being lost Israelites?
Talking about the lost sheep within Samaria, because all those of Samaria are not Israelites, just a remnant of our people who are dwelling in that land.
All right. So he says, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then came she and worshiped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs.
What does that mean to you?
Now he definitely saying, the bottom feeders,
There you go, Meech. They're about to talk about it right now. The bread. So let's see what they say.
The scavengers.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna be frank with you, right? He just called her dog, a female dog.
Yeah, well, he definitely put her in that same breath.
Go ahead. Keep reading the scripture.
Okay, so and then she.
So hold on before you go there. So the children's bread. What is the bread?
The children's bread. Maybe the life-giving teachers. I'm not sure.
So let's go to John 6:48.
All right, Meech, they about to debunk you because you said they don't never explain what the bread is. So you about to learn something right now.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm going to right now.
Okay.
So we're at John 6 and what?
48.
Okay, so he says, I am that bread of life.
And who is that talking there?
He's talking about himself. The manna in the wilderness that was given symbolically to the Israelites to eat.
That's Christ, right? Christ is talking. He says, I am the bread of life. So back in Matthew 15 and 26, said it's not meat to take the children's bread, him belonging to the Israelites, and cast it to dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of like was thought about that just now. So yeah, because he's the bread of heaven, and they went straight there. That's funny. That's funny. So Meech, they're gonna go to John 6:48 for you, Sakari. You say if you say they can't answer, that's where they're going, brother. They were given that precept from their bosses.
Yeah, I think we can see that.
Right?
Yeah, we can see that. Okay, and then she said, "Truth." She's agreeing, like, "Truth, Lord." Yet the dogs eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. So she's saying, whatever they don't eat, she's willing to take that.
She's willing to take the crumbs.
Right. Whatever.
It's not for her at all. She gets the crumbs. She can have the crumbs of it. You know what I'm saying? But even right here, it's not talking about salvation. It's just talking about a blessing.
Okay. So
going back to John 4, we're talking about that living water. That living water is the Spirit, the Holy Spirit. So the Most High, Yahweh Shai, Christ, he's willing to give the Holy Spirit to that Samaritan woman. But right here, this Canaanite woman, you can just have the crumbs.
Yeah, well, like I said, it looked like he got more respect for the Samaritans than the Gentiles. 28 says, then Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. So he's acknowledging that her faith is very, very great. And be it unto thee even as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. So even though the miracles were not for her, the cleansing and all that type of stuff, he made an exception for her. And that's what I was saying, like the sign.
For her daughter.
Yeah, my bad. For her daughter. Yeah. So that's the thing. He was this was like, I think it's very clear. And when Jesus on the scene, there was nothing for the Gentiles. So I think the case was being made for them as he was working, because as you see, this woman should have been just disregarded altogether. But he said her faith. So it looks like he's favoring faith over anything else. He's saying, okay, that faith that's familiar. And when you go back to John 4:24, remember he said they shall worship God's a spirit. So the true worshipers will worship us in spirit and truth. And that faith worship is that spirit of truth. So I think he's seen something in her. Now, I'm not saying that she herself was grafted in, but what I'm saying is that she could have been a sign for that to come later.
No,
what do you think?
Going back to Matthew 15 and 28, dealing with this Canaanite woman, even though he healed her, the Canaanite woman's daughter,
right,
it still doesn't offset the prophecy that the Most High has for Canaanites. So do you believe that Canaanites can be grafted in or saved?
I don't believe anybody's going to be grafted and saved unless they have that faith that he's looking for. Yeah,
let's go to.
I think it's all faith-based, where I'm going.
Let's go to Joel 3 and 4 and just read a prophecy of what's going to happen to the Canaanites.
Joel chapter 3, verse 4. Okay, so it says, this is chapter 3, right? Verse 4. So it says, yea, and what have you do to me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? and he recompensed me swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. That
Continue.
it says, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things.
Continue.
The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold into the Grecians, that you might be removed them far from their border.
And continue.
Behold, I will raise them out the place whither you have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head, and I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabeans, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it.
So these Canaanites, the Most High has it out for.
Yeah, they
He
did
said
some
for
crazy
what they
stuff.
have done and selling us to the Grecians and, you know, selling us off into slavery, he's going to repay them for that. And he's going to put them into slavery and give them to us as slaves for us to sell off.
And that's probably why Jesus Christ gave her the cold shoulder like that. You know, that, well, if that connects to that, if this speaking about Canaanites, now I see why, you know, he was so hard on that woman.
Right.
But he still found favor in her, and he recognized how great her faith was.
Well, he found favor in her daughter.
Right.
And
I
that's the
keep saying
thing,
her.
scripturally speaking.
But no.
Say,
No, he found faith. Now, he healed her daughter. He found faith in the actual woman.
yeah, there's faith in her, but he healed her daughter.
Right, because the daughter was the one that was grieving.
Right.
And then he said great faith. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it said great faith, but she still gets a crumb.
Yeah.
And he's calling those heathens dogs, calling those heathens beast. You don't see this type of language when he's talking to the Samaritan, the Samaritan woman.
Nah.
He doesn't have this type of attitude towards her.
Could it be that she was like worshiping Jacob in the well? I mean, you know, keeping the traditions, and that's why he favored her. I think brother fell off.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to him. Say that again.
Yeah, we'll wait for him to come back. Now I was saying maybe he found more, you know, leniency and favor. Like, so I'm going off the assumption that it's a Samaritan woman, non-Israelite. So I was saying maybe he's back. I'll wait for him to come.
You're still going off the Samaritan woman is not an Israelite?
Well, wait, I'm gonna go to my verse, and if my verse don't check out, then we'll assume that, you know, whatever you guys say.
Well, I'm just saying, what more you need, right? Her father is Jacob. She said her forefather was Jacob.
You hear these guys? What more you need? Like, yeah, that is a shame, man. Like, they were trying to end this discussion so fast. What else more do you need? She said her forefather was Jacob. That's good enough for us. That's good enough for Riverside Sakari. That should be good enough for you. No, idiot. We don't research the same. I'm different. I'm not like, yeah. What else do you need? She said Jacob's her forefather. Yeah. And also, the unbelieving Jews said Jesus was the son of Joseph. Y'all believe anything anybody said.
Let me cut the brother.
Sorry, I lost.
You didn't miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing.
All right. So I just want to show you how to build up to the evidence. I hope Meech is around and listen to this. This is where I was bringing everybody to. I just want y'all to get the full. Well, y'all ain't get the full. I kind of skipped to this point, but I want y'all to. As far as concerning the Jacob's well story, you heard everything in its proper context up to this point. So let me just continue. So now I'm going to bring out the big proof. I want to meet you around to hear this part. He probably, what time is it? He's probably working.
What did you hear me say last?
Just repeat what you said last.
Yeah. So I'm just speculating, really. I'm like assuming the Samaritan woman is a non-Israelite. You don't see the same language because they had an attempt to worship Jacob. In the
Her forefather was Jacob.
All right. So let me see. All right. So I think I found where I wanted to go.
Salakia, but before we move on, I just want to ask one question, right?
Oh, we're not moving on. We're staying there.
Do you say Sablakia?
Yeah.
Sablakia.
He said, Niche, at this point, I was ready to hammer. I was done playing around. I said, all right, let me. And LG probably like, where is he going? Like, Unbiased, you heard him. What else proof you need? She said Jacob's our forefather. LG, he was with it. So now, right before I go to explain it, they always step in, bro. Wait a minute, Salaki. Oh, every time, man. So now in my mind, like, so now I'm about to finally drop the bomb. Here come this guy. All right, so let's see what he said. Oh, did you hear their explanation of the bread?
I was just about to ask that. What did they say it was?
John 6:48. And when Christ said, I am that bread.
Oh, so when you eat of the bread, what did you know what I'm talking about? When you say when you eat of the bread happens?
Yeah, so I'm guessing they're gonna say
you have it. You have eternal life.
Huh?
He says, if you eat of the bread, you have eternal life. But if you don't eat of the bread, you don't have eternal life. So the Gentiles, this woman eating of the bread, the crumbs.
Right. That's the bread.
That's her speaking. Yeah. That's what she said. And then Christ verified it. He said, yay.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so they don't understand that. That's why it's important to highlight, like, do you know what you just said?
Right.
But okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
Because, like Officer Lahad is saying, she literally says her forefather is Jacob.
Right.
Could you break down that verse and tell us what it means to you? Because
you see, now they want to pigeonhole me from explaining what's going on. And you stay right here in John 4, don't go nowhere else, brother. Now we're allowed to do precepts. We're allowed to go anywhere we want. But you, to explain this, can you just stay right here and use context? No pretext and precepts for you. These some weird dudes, man. It's Western stuff.
To us, it clearly states she's saying her forefather, Jacob.
So sometimes in the Bible,
to us, it clearly states her forefathers. So that's good enough.
Things pick up. Like, for example, the brother clearly explained to me why she was getting cold shoulder. He went to Joel 3. Now, I didn't know that off the top. The Canaan had a certain prophecy coming towards him. So the brother went to explain what was going on in Matthew 15. He went to Joel 3, right, to give some type of historical reference. So now I want to do the same thing. I'm gonna go to some historical reference on why she believed that she was Israel or worthy of calling Jacob her father. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can see my screen, we're at 2 Kings chapter 17. Okay, so verse 1 says, in the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel 9 years. So they're in Samaria. It said he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before them. Against him came Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, and Hoshea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to So king of Egypt, and brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year. Therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. And then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria, right? And placed them in Halah. So it says in the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria took Samaria and carried Israel away into Assyria and placed them in Halah and in Arbor by the river of Gozan and in the cities of Medes. So he took Israel away into Assyria. Then it says, for it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, which had brought them out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods. So this is why they took Israel up out of Samaria and into Assyria. So verse 8 says, and walked in the statutes of the heathen. So, you know, they're walking in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. And verse 9 says, and the children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Lord their God, and they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen whom the Lord carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Lord's anger. For they served idols, whereof the Lord has said unto them, don't do that. Verse 13, yet the Lord testified against Israel and against Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear, but hardened their necks, like to the neck of their fathers that did not believe in the Lord their God. And they rejected his statutes, his covenant. They didn't want the covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies, which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them. So the heathen was amongst them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them, that they should do not like them. Verse 16, and they left all the commandments of the Lord their God, and made them molten images, even to calves. So they left all the commandments, and made a grove, and worshiped all the host of heathen, and served Baal. So they're definitely in a whole nother religion at this point. Verse 17, and they caused their sons and daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Okay, so the tribe of Judah is the only ones left. Also Judah, so everybody's gone, except for the tribe of Judah. Also Judah kept not the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. And the Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hands of spoilers, until he cast them out of his sight. Okay, so that says all. For he rent Israel from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Lord, and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them, until the Lord removed Israel out of his sight, as he said by all his servants and prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Syria until this day. So that's talking about all Israel. So then 24 says, and the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them in cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. So the Samaria has been replaced. And they possessed Samaria, and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was the beginning of their dwelling there, that they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. So these people who replaced Israel and Samaria did not keep the sayings and things of the Lord, and the Lord sent lions to kill them. So verse 26 is important. It says, wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which thou hast removed. So they understood those nations are gone, and placed in the cities of Samaria, know not the manner of the God of the land. So the new people that's there, that took places Israel don't know the man of God there. Therefore, he's killing them with lions. And behold, they slay them because they know not the manner of God of the land. So then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence. So one priest, and let them go and dwell there. Let them teach them the manner of God of the land. So they're teaching these fakers the manner of God of the land. Then one of the priests whom they carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel and taught them how they should fear the Lord. Verse 29, howbeit every nation made gods of their own and put them in the house of high places which the Samaritan has made, every nation their cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succoth Bena, and the men cut off. So here, so they feared, so they, 32 says, so they feared the Lord and made themselves unto the lowest of them priests and of the high priests which sacrificed for them. Anything else is here? Until this day, they do after the former manners, they feared not the Lord. Okay, so this is talking about Israel. So anyway, so it seems that there was a replacement. So Israel got swapped with the foreigners. And the foreigners came there in Samaria and they were taught the manner of God. So that the lions stopped eating them up. So this is why the Samaritan believes that's her land. Because she was taught from her ancestors and genealogy that her lineage that this is their land, because they was doing the practices. So this is why Jesus recognized her, like, yeah, you might worship at this well, but you're not a true worshiper. You're an implant. The real was removed.
So even with that being said, he still offered her living water, the Holy Spirit.
Meet you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Did they just deny everything that you just said?
Yeah.
It sounds like you just had a nice long explanation, and they said regardless.
Yeah, bro. So far, because I forgot this. So how long ago this was? This was 10 months ago. So I actually, it's not as long as 10 months. I re-uploaded this probably like a year ago. So I don't know how I responded, but bro, you're right. Like I just said something deep. Because even LG was like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we hung up, LG was like, well, I didn't even know that. So I said something deep as hell. And he took it as, okay, so what? But Jesus Christ was going to give her water. Yo, look at this. This is just amazing, man. Trying to tell Tone, listen, bro, I know what I'm doing. So I told Tone earlier, Meech, I said, Tone, if I debated, which I did, over 100 Israelites going on 200, I said, Tone, it isn't at some point I'm an expert at this, at debating Israelites on the Virgin.
Have a good one, sir.
If I have all this experience on debating Israelites, over 100 going to 200, I gotta be considered. I got expertise, so I'm an expert in talking to one West Israelites on the Virgin birth. Because Tone trying to give me some advice, what they say. I said, Tone, brother, in a humble way, I'm an expert on this. Like, you know what I mean? Like talking to these Israelites on the Virgin birth.
Right.
Like, meaning that we consider all these things, bro. Like all these tactics, we consider mostly every angle to talk to them. Nothing seems to work. I just gave an excellent recap of how the Israelites were taken out of that place and implants were inserted there, and exactly how they start to delude themselves that they were of Jacob. That's because they hired priests of Israel to teach them how to worship the God of Israel. I gave all that. And this guy said this.
Period.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. We cannot.
Why the Samaritan believes that's her land. Because she was taught from her ancestors and genealogy that her lineage that this is their land, because they was doing the practices. So this is why Jesus recognized her, like, yeah, you might worship at this well, but you're not a true worshiper. You're an implant. The real was removed.
So even with that being said, he still offered her living water, the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold
Believe that.
on. Hold on. We can't stop there, right? Because when you keep reading,
All right,
it
so
shows that even though they,
He
let's keep
said
reading, right? We ended on,
bro. Like as though you read this before. Okay, I'll keep reading.
we ended it on which verse?
31, I believe.
I had, to be fair, I had skipped some of the other ones.
Well, when you keep reading, right? So like in my Bible app is glitching. So we stopped at 31, correct?
Yeah, 30, I think it was.
So if we keep reading, right, it says that which verse is it? Yeah, right. So verse 32. So they feared the Lord and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places, which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places, right? So those nations made their own priests to make sacrifices for them, right?
Yeah.
In verse 33, it says, yes, they feared the Lord and served their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence. So even though we have an example of, Gentiles taking on customs that were taught to them,
Oh, so now they're real Gentiles. So they're no longer Northern Israelite Gentiles. Okay. So we're learning.
by Israelites, they still try to, in a sense, mingle those doctrines together to where they're fearing the Lord, yes, but they're still following after their own gods.
Yeah, because they're not the true worshipers, right?
Right.
Hey,
So
Salaki, and that goes into the 5 husbands, because verse 30 is talking about all the guys that they worship. And
exactly.
then you go into John 4, where it's talking about the Samaritan woman in Christ, talking about you had 5 husbands. It's talking about.
So this is where you're gonna go off topic. I mean, they're on topic. They're not off topic. They're on topic, but we're leaving what I just explained about how the Samaritan woman was not a real Israelite. She was an implant. So we're gonna leave that, and now him and LJ are gonna talk about, the 5 husbands. Like, but I think both made good points on why they believe the 5 husbands were. Like, I think me and LJ took the 5 husbands literally. They took the 5 husbands like, symbolically, like.
About the gods that she has worshiped.
Okay.
You're reading that into the text, though, aren't you? He's literally talking about husbands. You're talking about gods. You're associating one and the other, but you're going to have to show that.
This is, I'm not asserting, because verse 30, look, verse 30, this is talking, it says in 2 Kings 17 and 30, it says, and the man of Babylon made Secophbenoth, and the man of Cuth made Negal, and the man of Hamath made Ashima, and the Avites made Nabaz and Tartak, and the Shafar, whatever that word is, burnt the children of fire, and so on and so on. So it's talking about, it's naming all the false gods that the Northern Kingdom laid up with, within idolatry, but also can be symbolic of the 5 husbands that Yahushua said the woman that was at the well was representing adultery.
Yeah, you're asserting that. The fact is that the Samaritan wouldn't have had 5 gods. These were different nations that were brought in, and each one had a different god. So the Samaritan woman wouldn't have had 5 different gods. She would have only had the one god. So now you're asserting that the complete nations in there are the 5 gods, but that wouldn't have been what the Samaritan woman would have had.
This is the historic reference that your brother had brought us to, right? Talking about what John 4 is talking about when it comes to the Samaritans. This is the historical reference, right?
Right. But
So, Meech, Tone, or anybody in the chat, what do you think the 5 husbands are? Like, I still think they're talking about husbands, but I understand what they're trying to say. What do you think it is, the 5 husbands?
It's actual husbands. Never understood it any other way.
Right. But I mean, they went somewhere else with it. They were saying like
Are
five.
they trying to say because how God married to Israel, therefore it's speaking about other gods?
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's never been used outside of God Himself being the husband of Israel. Yeah, no, that's completely fallacious. I can see how it could be taken that way. But no, that wouldn't make sense. Because didn't she go back to her husband? How could she go back to her God and tell her God
Right,
about
right, right,
everything?
right. Yeah, that's a good point. We ain't think of that. Right. So why would he
Yeah.
say, go back to your false god?
Yeah, why would Jesus tell her to go back to your false God? Tell your false God about me. What's the point of that? There's no point. I mean, false gods don't exist. So Jesus is telling her to go back and talk to a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be weird. But I think if you read the whole account, she actually goes back and she says, He's told me all about how, my whole life, what I've done. So she's going back and telling other people this, not some statues or anything like that. She's actually, you know, so yeah, no, that's weird. So this is all connecting to basically how Gentiles have salvation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what's even easier though, right? You know what's easier?
What's that?
Have the whole play on faith and believe, because believe is the verb form of faith in the Greek, right? And you remember when Paul was in prison and the Philippian jailer asked him, what must I do to be, excuse me, he said, what must I do to be saved? He said, believe on the Lord Jesus Christ and you shall be saved, right?
Right.
So believing is the action, the doing of your faith, right? So when you go to those different accounts, especially like the Syrophoenician woman, that's clear. You can talk about the bread, but the fact that Jesus said she had great faith means that he saw her faith. He saw it. Because they don't believe Jesus is God, so they don't believe, he can see someone's faith without them displaying it. But that'll be the easiest way. And looking at the centurion, he said, "There's not greater faith in all of Israel." He said this to a Gentile.
Wait, say the last part. You said what?
The centurion, he said, "I've not seen greater faith, not in all of Israel."
No. Okay. Then you must don't know the argument on that centurion, do you?
What's the centurion? That he's a Israelite.
Yeah.
How? At what point were Jews centurions? I'm almost positive centurion is that's a Latin word, so that goes back to Rome.
Yeah. Well, brother, I gotta tell you this: that when Israel, because Paul was a Roman citizen, so these guys were all type of shit, and they were soldiers too, and yeah, man, the centurion was an Israelite.
So wait, so okay, so in their minds, there were Jews who fought for the empire that oppressed the Jews, and they fought for this empire that also denounced their religion in a sense. Like they tolerated it, but they didn't believe in it. That's what they're saying. That's nuts.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, well, think about it, brother. Today, if I'm in the military, it doesn't mean I believe in everything. He's gonna say something like that. I could hardly hear that. They love their modern day analogies.
Yeah, right. But
That's their definitions.
But don't you dare use it. Don't you dare use one, brother.
So how did they argue?
Hebraic mind. Remember the Hebraic mind?
Yeah, the Hebraic mind is relevant to our modern culture today. That's what they mean, Hebraic mind.
Yeah, so don't you?
They always say, dude, don't they explain marriage that way? They be like, see, the Hebraic customs were very different. Like even we have it today. I'm like, so if they're different, why do we have them today? What are you talking about? They do. They always throw me for a loop. Those freaking analogies. Think about this, brother. But the centurion, I'm interested to hear their argument on the centurion.
Yeah, I think I'm on to something when I was going to my. We're still live, but I think I'm done. Yeah, because we're done with that. Because what you call it? They just argued the 500 thing. I'm still live, so I just want to say I think I'm on something with this Jew thing. Like,
Hmm.
because bro, whoever said there's in the entire gospel, what Israelite say he was a Judite?
Yeah, none of them.
Well,
Ephraimite.
how about anywhere in the Bible?
Yeah, no, it was a common term to be called a Jew.
Yeah, because we hear people say they're from the tribe of Levi. We hear people say they're from this tribe.
Hmm.
Okay, because what I'm reading right here, let me share my screen. Because I'm looking at Judea, because Christ was born in Judea, right? Bethlehem, Judea. So now I'm at Thayer's Greek, I'm at Thayer's Greek lexicon. And it says Eo Eo the Eudia, right? Or Dias. Okay. Dias. Or Dias.
Oh, for Judea.
Yeah. Okay. So it says it, it's, telling how it's put together, added. It said from the adjective Eu Dias. It says Judea Hebrew in the Old Testament, a region of Palestine named after the tribe of Judah, which inhabited it. So now it goes back to Judges with that Bethlehem Judah guy. Okay. So now he's called Judah. Now he's a Levite who was born in Bethlehem, Judah. And as a result, he's called the Levite of Bethlehem, Judah. So Christ born in Bethlehem, Judah, he would be called Jesus of Bethlehem, Judah. Okay, let's move on. So Ruth, it says, now it came to pass in the days where when the judges ruled that there was a certain famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, versus went to sojourn in the country of Moab, and his wife and his two sons. Okay, we got a Bethlehem, Judah, right? You born because you're born from the area, you call that. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Give me a second. This part I already know. That's not what I want. Now, are you there, Meech? I keep going on mute. Sleep, 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 sleep. He's tired. That's my reading. Yeah, sleep, sleep.
Yeah, bro. Donovan Mitchell's a dog. Hey, Swazi, Cavs in fourth.
I'm talking on mute. What did he do?
Nah, I was saying Cavs in four.
Cavs in four
Yeah,
versus who?
anybody.
Yeah.
yeah,
The NBA choppy right now. I don't know who's gonna be.
yeah, I'm good, man. Have a good one, bro. What'd you say, Ron?
I said the NBA. I don't know right now. I can't tell who. It's like kind of even.
Definitely against the Clippers. Definitely. Definitely against the Warriors. We already smacked them twice, with and without Steph.
Yeah, but too bad.
Who else?
Both of them ain't gonna see a finals round. The Clippers.
Yeah.
They won't be.
We probably have trouble with the Suns. We probably get the Suns in six. So,
Nah, Garland is up and down, and so is Mobley. I can't see it.
but if they're consistent,
Yeah, that's a hypothetical, and that's like saying if James Harden shows up in the playoffs. Like,
right. If James Harden shows up in the Rockets playoffs when they had CP3, that's an easy championship right there.
yeah, but history shows that he's not sure.
Yeah. Dude, he's basically like some of these Hebrew Israelite leaders when it comes to round two of a discussion. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we got our answer right there. Though. The fact
What?
that he was born in Judea, that makes him a Judite.
The fact that Jesus was born in Judea?
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because I'm reading, and saying all the people of Judah. That tell you that that's people that was born in Judah.
Right.
Okay. I'm just I'm looking for more proof. I'm looking for more concrete, things. That's all at this point. I'm convinced that that's my argument there. Like, so my argument now might be Let me just get more. Let me just get more first. I sleep pissing me off. You know what? When you asked about the spiritual Jew and the spiritual Gentile, and he said only one way. So in this breakdown, it's showing you Esther 8:17 how Gentiles can be spiritual Jews, and it's referencing contrast that referencing Galatians 2 and how Israel could be spiritual Gentiles, how it does go back.
Yep. Because if it's not the same, you would have to, since we see one happening and we don't see the lack of the other not taking place, meaning like God says, hey, this can happen, but this cannot take place. We just see them claiming that it can't.
I think I already got this.
What'd you say?
This guy would not go to sleep.
He probably was just sitting staring at you, huh?
He's like tossing and turning right now, but he just won't do it.
Mm.
He's like so annoying.
My daughter likes to talk to me when she can't go to sleep. Be like, Dada, can I get milk? Be like, we'll get it in the morning. Go to sleep. I think it's hilarious how she tries to wake me up in the morning. Like sometimes she gets up before me. My wife's already up. She'll come in the room. She'll sit right above me, and she'll literally open my eyes. She's like, Dad, wake up. She'll be like, it's time to get up.
Yeah, I think this is here for a reason.
What'd you say?
I think this is here for a good reason. This judge is better than Judah guy.
Mm.
The story's like real weird. Like, why is this Levite? Why is it important Levite is called Bethlehem of Judah, of the family of Judah? Like, why is that so important? I am a Levite of Bethlehem, Judah, and I go to sojourn where we look at
Silver. Was a young man out of Bethlehem, Judah, of the family of Judah. Levite, he to join there. So he was a Levite.
yeah,
Oh, that's right. This is the occurrence of what did he do? Did he I think his daughter was raped, something like that, or raped.
yeah. He supposed to have donated her to. I think he donated to he donated to remember he made that deal with was it God or the angel?
No, this isn't that's Judges 11.
Okay. Yeah,
You think about
so
that story.
yeah, this guy. Yes, what he do? He cut in pieces. Like she was raped, and what happened to her? I forgot.
Mm.
Anyway, I came here to do this. I didn't want to stay here necessarily. I came here to do. I'll look at this one too. No, it's no, no, no. I came to do this.
You know what I just caught too?
What's that?
You know how Gentiles are called dogs?
Yeah.
They're not called female dogs. They're just dogs in general, because dogs are unclean. So when he said that he called her a female dog, they use that as an excuse to call women B words. You know that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know Israel's called dogs too in the Old Testament? I think Jeremiah or Isaiah.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah, I think LJ or ILCK had gave me that
Mm.
one. Yeah, Israel's called dogs too. They were called dogs first. Well, evidently, because those are it
Oh, is it Jeremiah 15?
might be it. I think it's Jeremiah.
And said the Lord unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be toward this people. Cast them out of my sight and let them go forth. Shall come to pass if they say unto thee, whither shall we go? Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith the Lord, such are as for death and to death, and such are as for the sword and to the sword, such as for the famine and to the famine, captivity to that captivity. I will appoint over them. Oh, this is Israel. Four kinds, saith the Lord: the sword to slay, and the dogs to tear, and the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. Oh, so wait, no, this isn't about Israel right here. It's about the other nations still.
Mm.
I'll find it. Definitely about Jezebel. I have this thing has set with dogs. Flock. You know what's interesting?
What's that?
So the word dogs is used in Psalm 22 and 16. You know Psalm 22? You know what that's about? It's about the sufferings of Jesus. So he says, "For dogs have compassed me," meaning are all around me. Makes me think there was a lot of Jews around him when he was being crucified. So that could possibly be a way of, hey, he's calling Jews dogs.
Right. Oh yeah. It could be. Yep. Yep. That sounds about right.
Yeah, what if all people, regardless of their ethnicity, was regarded as a dog unless they were following the Messiah? That's what it seems like. Because if those who are part of his kindred are now dogs, now what makes you, not a dog is not just your flesh. It's, more, way more. I think, man, that's just the most simplest teaching in the Bible. I mean, even people that don't have never studied Greek or Hebrew can clearly see that. But to them, that's that Christian doctrine.
Hey, you don't scared. Damn it, what's up?
Yes, finally. 3438. Mm, okay. Bro, I feel like the hardest part about you still up?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like the hardest part about Greek is all the small connector words, like because, in order that,
Yeah, that is.
unless this.
Yeah, because
Because I feel like,
context,
yeah,
the context decide what it's gonna be.
right. Like, and all the other words are pretty simple. Like the way that the verb inflects and how it's used, that's simple. But you could have Kai, which is and
And
also including, you know, and I've seen some strange ways that the definite article is used.
yeah, and you got sometimes the pronouns like they. You got I think autos. Sometimes it's they, and sometimes it's not they. I have been peeped at. Okay, so but it doesn't. It's still kind of easy because it's almost
Yeah.
like which. It's almost like which what. Like you could say which. You could say which one or what one. You know what I mean? In English, and we still understand. Like one is more proper, but we still understand what you're saying. So even with that, like you probably couldn't determine, okay, what is it saying? But you know it's a conjunction either way. And you know this one is talking about a him or her, right? So it could say him or he. It's kind of like the same thing. So it's not like too far. It's not like it's saying bicycle and the next one saying a lion. It's kind of like close still. So
Right.
I have
Yeah.
been peeped at. I see the articles. It's not that you can mess it up and still get it the article because you know it's gonna be masculine. All you can do is know like how they work. But the noun, so it's still, I did when I was learning Greek recently. I'm going back. I'm learning Greek the way I learned Spanish, and the way I learned Spanish, which Spanish is real easy. The way to learn it starts you off with nouns, and then it goes to articles, and then it goes
Yep.
to right after that, I believe, pronouns, and then start conjugating pronouns, and verbs comes after pronouns. And so
Yeah.
I said, you know what, let me
Verbs
do
just
Greek the
like
same way.
last.
Yeah, I said, let me do Greek the same way. Let me do the nouns, and then I start learning the count. I start learning how to count to 10. I don't really know it. Like I don't remember. I ain't memorize it. But I started doing the same thing. The color red, but I really stopped because I said, let me focus on. Let me not do colors and that stuff because the Bible don't really focus on that too much. I'm still trying to learn biblical Greek, so I'm still trying to like keep it within the Bible. So
Right.
right. So the Bible it says first and second a lot. It don't really say. Well, it says 1, 2, 3, but it definitely say first and second a lot. First, second,
For
third.
declension. Are you talking about person for verbs or pronouns? Sorry.
Nah, I'm talking about numbers. You missed what I said. But I'll just say.
Oh, okay.
Now, I was trying to say, and when I learn Spanish, I'm trying to learn and speak the language Spanish. But when I'm learning Greek,
Right.
I'm really more interested in biblical Greek rather than modern Greek.
Right.
Even
You don't
though,
even need to know the numbers, honestly.
but
The
that's what
numbers are like,
no, but that's what I just
yeah.
said. Like you were busy. I just said that, and then you had me repeat it again just to tell me what I did. You're crazy. Yeah, like you're so focused what you're doing that you told me to say it again. As I'm saying it again, you said it for me. Like what the fuck?
No. The crazy part was I wasn't even doing nothing. I was listening.
Yeah, but now I was just saying that. I said that the Bible used first, second, third more than it used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Right. Okay. I'm about to say I didn't even need to learn first at all because I just knew it from it's literally protos, and I remember that from firstborn prototokos. I forgot how Ariala said it, prototokos or something like he said it, bro. He said it so weird, bro. I think I said it to you a while ago. Actually, I might still have it unless because if he deleted where you can't have clips, I think that's completely gone there. Got a bunch of clips saved.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to focus more on biblical Greek, and then everything else will be secondary. Because once you get biblical Greek down pat, the next step will be to learn just Greek. Then we can get
Oh, I
pictures.
think he did turn off the clips.
Yeah,
Dang,
I'm
bro, now
trying
I
to tell
gotta
you.
go back through and find this video. That's annoying, bro. Hey, don't I swear, dude, we're just like a slimmer version of Charlie Clips.
Yeah. He's a weird looking dude, yo.
Yeah.
Like, cause he's like fat, but he's not fat. It's like, is he a weird looking
He's at
dude?
that in-between stage right now.
Yeah. Like
I remember my one buddy was
he's
out there,
grown,
and
but he's grown, but he doesn't
yeah,
look grown. He says he's married with no kids. Like what the like, dude? How long you been married? Like what's the then you talk about Hebrew state of mind, bro? What's the point of the Hebrew state of mind is to have kids?
right.
So how you married no kids? Like what state of mind do you have right now? So all the people of Judah. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like when it says all the people of Judah, it's talking about that's what I'm gonna get unpacked. I'm gonna hit him so hard, man. On the route I'm going right now, Judah took desire. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him so hard, ain't I'm gonna come with.
Dude, I gotta find. I'm on the video right now that he did it, but I can't remember where he said this.
What are you looking for?
I know for a fact he repeats the word prototokos, but in a weird, weird way.
Okay, yeah, I haven't. Okay, I can't help you with that.
I think I was just trying to see. I was just watching some of his videos before we hopped on, and I just was re-verifying my mind. Okay, this guy definitely has no clue what he's talking about with other subjects, let alone the virgin birth. So it's kind of just having fun. Ooh, where is
Oh, you know what? Dang, is that gonna work? Is that gonna work? Okay, okay. You know what?
what?
All right, let me go back. I forgot I have Judah. All right, I know what I'm gonna do. I forgot I got the Old Testament in Greek. So I'm doing a quick search. No, that ain't gonna do me no good. Yeah, it won't do me no good. No, never mind. Dang, I gotta go back to where I was. Yeah, that won't. What I was gonna do won't do me any good.
Yeah, bro. I feel like to get what's his face, I'm not gonna say his name. You gotta hit up somebody else.
What's your face?
The dude we was talking about right before we hopped on live. I
You got
sent
hit up.
you his profile.
What you got hit up?
You gotta hit up somebody else.
Why?
I don't know. Otherwise, I feel like you would be have to come on his platform.
Nah, I think we can get him over here.
Mm.
And that all depends if he actually. Yeah, you got some crazy. There's some really crazy people online, man. Some really crazy people online, bro. I'm talking about real. That's sad, man. Like you got people who are off their medications. They're off their meds. They get on the internet and create a profile, and for the first time in their life, they're taken seriously.
Yep.
For the first time in their life, they're
Hmm.
being taken seriously. Like that's crazy. Like because people like really Hebrew, I guarantee you, people that grew up with him was like, yeah, that's a weirdo. Like he had no friends. He was a nerd. He joined the Hebrew like camp. I think he started off with GMS. He learned their foolishness. He broke off, did his own camp, and he just loving the attention.
Right. Has he ever done a virgin birth debate? Oh, he tried to with Sam Shimon, but
And yo, what was he? Yo, he like what was he doing? It was like so retarded. Saint Simone, like, okay, just read it, because because Saint Simone had kept him back. He like, yo, can you show me Joseph being a father of Jesus? Oh yeah, oh I will. Like, okay, just do it. Oh yeah, I will. Bro, you got 10 seconds. Oh, you gonna hang up on me? yo, what? I didn't understand what's going on, right? He gave you 10 tries to just read it,
Yeah.
and besides reading it, you're just talking what they do to us. Okay,
Hmm.
all right, brother, but you gotta listen to this though. Wait, brother, just read the verse. You called my show, read the verse. No, see, brother, but let me tell you about my life. I was a criminal, high school dropout thug. Like, dude, you got 3 seconds, man. Yo, man, you gonna hang up on me? So he wasted the next 3 seconds complaining about being hung up on. Dude, if you start reading the Bible, he's not gonna hang up.
Sam does that with everybody.
Yeah, but that was his way out though. That was his way. I called, and he hung up on me. Like, yo, why didn't you get to the point? That's why I was kind of hope he did not hang up on me.
Yeah.
Keep that fool on the line. Bezaleel, the son of Uriah, son of Hur. Son of Uriah. There we go. Okay, okay. So we're getting somewhere. Uriah, the son of Uriah. Or her, looking for her. I almost lost my train of thought. Praying.
Yeah, it's good. Oh,
All right. This is going to be interesting. Oh, all right, all right, all right. All right, that's going to be interesting. That's going to throw a bone in what I'm doing. Yeah, shit. Hey, yeah. So I'm just trying to see how I'm gonna attack this new angle of maybe like when they go off topic, like so how is Christ a child of Judah? See, I think the how is kind of not a good question because it's for one, how is he he's born in Judea? That's the how. But then the other how is because the Bible says so. Like so like the exact same verses they read are the exact same verses that bite them. They go to Hebrews 7:14. It says, "Our Lord sprang out to try to do it." So it's like, so what are we arguing here? So like,
mm,
so we got to flip it back on them. It's like, no, you got to show us that he's from Judah through Joseph because we're reading he's Judah, and to us that's all that matters. You guys, it matter how which parent. To us, we already know you got one parent, so it's simple for us. But you guys are
yeah,
struggling which parent. So because really we don't, to be honest, the parent thing for us we don't even care because it says it. Now I can see if it never says it, right? Let's say the Bible never says he sprung out of the tribe of Judah or he's not the tribe of Judah. But let's say, but we know that he's supposed to come from Judah somehow in the Old Testament, whatever. But it doesn't say it in the New Testament. Now they could ask that question. Okay, if he's not from Joseph, that's from Judah. And another thing, bro, I think they keep. So why do you mention David? Why do we even mention David at all, bro? Like, why do we care the genealogies? One says David to Nathan, one says David to Solomon. That means nothing, because what means it all is Judah. The David thing is irrelevant, and I think we forget Judah came way before David. I think we keep forgetting that.
Right.
So he don't have to come from David, even though it says it. So he has to come from Abraham, David. So it really goes like this: Abraham, Judah, David, or Abraham, Jacob, Judah, David. Because Judah had two sons. He had twins, Zedah and Phares, or the Bible calls him Hezron, I think. No, his name he's Phares in the Old Testament, right? Perez.
Yeah.
I forget. Okay, yeah. So, and both of them come from Judah. Yeah. So Judah's more. Yeah. So think about it? Why do we focus on David when we're talking about Judah for Mary? Why do we fall for to look at David?
Yeah.
Judah comes way before that.
I think it's because it's a combination of he sprang out of Judah from the seed of David. I think it's that combo.
Yeah, but that's a whole separate thought though. Like he told him about the subjects, Abraham seed, Eve seed. These are all separate thoughts. So they all got to be true, but they're all separate.
Yeah, hey, I messaged the vocab, let him know that if he ever wants, we can just do like a private Zoom. We can help him if he's about to do a debate or something like that.
Yeah, we should get him ready for Arayla. That'd be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that'd be a good one. Because vocab is he's gonna do what we would do. He's gonna hone in and not let him bounce around.
Right.
Because he's smart enough to catch it. So we just make sure, bro. He's gonna be confused on who's the subject and what genitive means. So ask him and let him make a fool of himself and just come behind him and clean him up each time. Where he'll be reluctant to even answer any of your questions. And then when he become totally reluctant, you just go ahead and just teach him.
Yeah, I feel like either one, Hassad or Arayla or even Deacon, would want to debate vocab on it.
Yeah,
but they might smarten up and watch his last live.
But the fool, you gotta ask it like this: which one is more foolish to debate vocab? It'd be right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
He's more foolish.
Should I want Ricardo debate vocab now on the Virgin Bird?
Who?
Ricardo.
From GOCC?
Yeah, bro. I watched that video that you sent me. I commented on it. I was like, yo, y'all even going to Greek and Hebrew? Y'all don't know nothing. One dude was like, I think the channel owner, probably somebody else, he was like, yeah, we going to the Greek and Hebrew. I'm like, what's egg in that thing? No response.
Yeah, I would love to debate. Like, I would actually pay to debate somebody like Ricard.
Yeah.
Like I'll pay for like an hour and a half. I'll give him like $50 for an hour and a half.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I would too, honestly.
Okay. Why am I here again? Yeah, so I think we're getting tricked on when because we're allowed them to inflate the thoughts, conflate the thoughts, not inflate, conflate the thoughts. So when they say, "How is he a Judah? How is he a Judite, bro?" They never say, "How is he from the seed of David?"
Right.
They always ask, how is he from Judah?" And then like dumbasses, we start showing David. When David comes way after. So while I'm here, let me get read some of these tabs and let me go into David. All right. So let's go to Matthew's 1. And look at all the ways we skipped. So not David, Judah. So now everything after Judah, Jesus can come from. So it could be Phares, it could be Zara that we don't really hear much from, right? It could be Esrom. Oh, Esrom is Hezron. It could be Aram. It could be Aminadab. It could be Nasan. It could be Salmon. It could be Boaz. It could be Obed. It could be Jesse, and then David. So all those names, Solomon, Nathan, all those names. So I don't know why we voluntarily omit Jesse all the way up to Phares and Zara as Jesus coming from them. Because don't forget, this Boaz thing is kind of tricky, Boaz and Rakab,
Mm.
because they fulfilled the Levirate law for Imelech. He was raising up seed for his brother. But that son was added right there in Boaz lineage. It's like, wait a minute, Obed was supposed to go to Imelech. Why is he in Boaz lineage?
Hey, bro. I gotta hop off, bro. My freaking night shift is sick. Dang, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Keep being mad sometimes. I'll catch you later, bro.
Yeah, I'm about to learn with Tone and the family. All right, go ahead, bro.
All right. All right.
Peace. Yeah, I don't know why we let them get off the hook on this one. I think I'm on something here. This a weird guy right here. Let me block this guy. Goodbye. Like my son would say, goodbye.